Caitlin Clark out there.
Absolutely.
Coming from women.
From Chris.
The men that loved her. LeBron's tweeting,
You know why they
y'all
love her?
just hating. Like, they giving her love. We giving her props. I'm sorry. How can you not give her props? The girl is bad.
The assist, the unbelievable.
She's a phenomenal passer.
Yes, like that stuff. And all we hear is these women who are accomplished. Nobody's taking away your champion trophy.
Well, they're
and all
jealous.
They're jealous, Chris.
They're jealous that they didn't draw this level of attention.
Caitlin Clark has single-handedly elevated women's basketball and the WNBA to a whole new level of popularity. But instead of rejoicing and being supportive of what she's currently doing for the sport, most girls in the league are not too happy with it. And some of them actually despise her. Like, what is this? Selling sunset? Even though they've tried to hide it, the cat is out of the bag, folks. The oozing smell of jealousy lingers among these girls whenever they talk about Caitlin, and one of her vocal haters is Diana Taurasi. I mean, it all started when Taurasi and Sue Bird were watching the Final Four game between Iowa and UConn on their show. While watching the game, a random fan asked Taurasi who she would pick between Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark if they were in the same draft class. And without batting an eyelash, here's what Taurasi said.
I'm taking Paige. Next question.
So if you had the number one pick this year, you would take Paige over Caitlin?
Absolutely.
I like that energy.
Now, I don't know if she was already trying to light up the beef here with Caitlin around this point, but to me, she's just being honest in picking Paige. One of the reasons I think she picked Paige is because she was a UConn player just like herself. And aside from this, Paige is not too shabby of a player either. She's currently averaging close to 20 points a ball game. And she's also one of the top-ranked female players today. However, her cold-blooded response was immediately noticed by fans. And it seemed like she was quick to diminish Caitlin and the things that she's been doing on and off the court. Now, when their conversation shifted to Huskies coach Gino Auriemma, and if he would let Caitlin shoot logo threes under his watch, the three-time WNBA champ butt in yet again and said,
Hell no. Okay. Like, he didn't even let us dribble. Like,
Not the iPad.
we were playing triangle, pass, screen away, pinch
I
post.
bet we came off five pick and rolls our whole career.
No chance you're doing that with Coach Randall. That's just not the way he
It's
teaches
different now,
basketball.
though. It's different now, though.
This was obviously a hypothetical question. But even if that's the case, Taurasi quickly slammed the door on Caitlin yet again, saying that her carefree, green light, all-day play style would not work in a team with a complex and rigid offensive system. I mean, when Steph Curry entered the NBA back in 2009, he wasn't shooting logo threes right off the bat. And it took a couple of years before Steph got his groove on and became the greatest shooter on the planet. When he entered the league, he was just playing within the Warriors system. But eventually, he became the system that the Warriors have built around. I think the same case can be applied to Caitlin's cause in the history of women's basketball. No one can shoot the ball like her from such a range, and her shot making is simply unmatched. With this said, I think Taurasi made a false claim there when she said that Caitlin wouldn't thrive playing in a team with an already established system. Anyway, after the final buzzer sounded, Iowa narrowly escaped with a 71-69 victory against Taurasi's alma mater. And this is where things get a little bit spicy. See, when Scott Van Pelt asked about Taurasi's expectations of the upcoming rookies and how they would pan out in the big leagues, here was her blunt response.
Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie, and it might take a little bit longer for some people.
Now, with that kind of an answer, I think Taurasi is starting to light up a beef between her and Caitlin. But in Taurasi's defense, she has been known for trash-talking newcomers in the league. And solid proof of this was when Kelsey Plum revealed how she was welcomed by Taurasi as a rookie.
Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
When you hear her name,
Yeah.
what's the first thing you think of?
I'm smiling because we played him the other day. She's great, but she's an asshole.
Oh, man.
That's what I love about her. That's what I love about her.
Yeah, she's so funny. In the game, I got an O board, and I see her, so I backed it out a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to blow right by her old ass. And I go by her. I I go by her, and she just took me out
I got a question.
like flagrant foul.
And she read your mind. She's like, I'm not
yeah.
having this young girl come here and try to embarrass me. Put your ass on the ground. What you mean?
I was laying on my back for like 10
that's
seconds
funny.
just laughing. Yeah. Nah, DT, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I love her swagger and her unapologetic demeanor, you know?
She's been playing a long time, too.
Anyway, whether it was about chasing clout or she was really just being mean to Caitlyn, Taurasi knew what she was getting into when she said those statements. And to a basketball fan who doesn't watch the WNBA that much, the large amount of trash talk that she did against Caitlyn actually made me tune in to their highly anticipated matchup. It seems like Taurasi's snarky comments on Caitlyn worked, because according to reports, the matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury became the second most watched WNBA game on ESPN, with 2.7 million viewers at its peak. Now, ever since Taurasi began dissing Caitlyn in public, Caitlyn never retaliated nor said something bad to Taurasi. She handled every interview with class and always spoke with respect. I mean, here's what she said in her pregame interview right before their matchup with Taurasi and the Phoenix Mercury.
In your career against Diane Taurasi, does that bring any sort of extra excitement for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's just somebody I grew up, idolizing and, looking up to and wanting to be like one day. So, obviously she's one of the greatest players our game has ever seen, the greatest scorer our game has ever seen. Kind of like a dream come true. Like, you get to live out your dream while playing against the best. One of the best there ever has been. So, it's fun for me, for sure.
Despite what Taurasi said about her, Caitlyn still talked highly of her idol, and even recognized her as one of the best players in WNBA history. The reason why people like Caitlyn is because she remains humble and respectful to the media or anyone that she talks to, despite the crazy attention that she's been drawing. Anyway, when the table switched up and the reporter asked Taurasi about what it's going to be like facing Caitlyn for the very first time, here was her 4-word response.
Facing Caitlin Clark for the first time on Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, the night of June 30th finally came, and in front of a sellout 17,000-person crowd, Caitlin Clark and Diana Taurasi battled for the very first time inside a WNBA court. Right from the opening tip, Taurasi backed up her bark by making some tough layups to set the tone early. Caitlyn, on the other hand, was a bit shaky and had a rough start as she made a couple of unforced turnovers. But after gathering herself, Caitlyn started to get comfortable and began knocking down her signature logo threes. And with the defense starting to tighten up on her, Caitlyn switched things up and used her passing skills to feed her teammates and get them involved. But despite Caitlyn's best efforts, they found themselves down double digits at halftime. When the game resumed, Phoenix quickly tried to put away the Fever with 8 minutes left in the third. However, Caitlyn refused to quit as she led her team back into the ballgame, first with this inside floater attack. Then moments later, she sinks another logo three before dropping this sleek bounce pass on the run to trim the lead to just 5. With the Fever knocking on the door, Taurasi responded with her own version of the logo three to keep them at bay. Now, down by 7 with 3.5 minutes left in the game, it looked like Phoenix had the game in the bag. But once again, Caitlyn and her teammates fought back to keep themselves in the game by drilling a couple of big-time triples. Eventually, the game went down to the wire with both teams giving their all, but in the end, it was Caitlin Clark who delivered the game-winning free throws, which ultimately iced the game. Indiana beat Phoenix 88-82 in front of their home crowd, with Caitlyn having herself a near triple-double of 15 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. By the way, Caitlyn became the very first player in WNBA history to achieve a triple-double in their rookie season. But back to the game. Meanwhile, Taurasi held her own, as she had a solid stat line as well, scoring 19 points on 5 for 14 shooting, along with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. After all the bad stuff that Taurasi said to Caitlyn before their matchup, it was the rookie who slapped a reality check on the 42-year-old vet. And to add insult to injury, the Indiana Fever trolled her by posting this 2-word tweet. Anyway, right after the game, it seemed that Taurasi had crushed the one-way beef against Caitlyn by finally praising her and recognizing her greatness.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. What Caitlyn's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. The one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her, and she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future is super bright. And
Based on that clip, I think Taurasi has finally learned her lesson of not talking too much trash to upcoming rookies. Because there are players like Caitlin who will definitely bite back and not back down to bully vets like her. Well, guys, what's your take on this? Do you really think that Taurasi was really jealous of Caitlin? Or was she just trolling and chasing